We can't stop living, which means we have to live, which means we are alive, which means we are humans and we are human. Some of us are unkind, and some of us are confused, and some of us sleep with the wrong people, and some of us make bad decisions, and some of us are murderers. And it sounds terrible, but it is in fact freeing. The idea that queer does not equal good or pure or right. It is simply a state of being, one subject to politics, to its own social forces, to larger narratives, to moral complexities of every kind. So bring on the queer villain, the queer heroes, the queer sidekicks and secondary characters, and protagonists and extras. They can be a complete cast unto themselves. Let them have agency, and then let them go. This is an excerpt from In the Dream House by Carmen Maria Machado, and welcome back to Lesbian Book Club, everybody. Lauren here, and I just wanted to open with that excerpt because I think it's beautiful. And on this episode today, we're going to do my to be read book list, much like Haley's from last week. However, mine is going to have a social political bent this week, just in light of everything happening in California, in Los Angeles, around the world. I have a very heavy heart, and I would love to give book recommendations, queer, Hispanic, Latina, Latino, and historical book references that may help us have hope, but also help teach us about why we are in this current political climate. So I really do believe that we don't exist in a vacuum, and we live in a world of intersectionality, and everything is political. You can't just hide from it. You can't say that it's not. We exist in a world, in community, and existence is inherently political.
Where are the quiet gays? Where are the quiet gays supposed to go?
Hi, everybody. So I have a couple topics that I want to explore this week, and the first one is going to be 6 queer Latinx books that I found through our friend of the pod, Roxy Rivas. She reposted this TikTok on her TikTok, and it is from Drea, and I will add her in the links below. She is a lover of queer books and all things fandom, and she is Puerto Rican. So let's get into it. The first book recommendation is Cantores by Carolina de Robertis, and it is about 5 queer women, known as the Cantores, who find each other during the Uruguayan dictatorship and create a sanctuary on a secluded beach called Cabo Polino. I hope I'm saying that right. But it is about found family. It is about the lives, loves, and struggles for authentic existence in a repressive environment. And what better parallel than right now with all of the immigration crackdown and fascist state that we are currently entering into. This book just looks lovely. It's a novel, and again, set in the 1970s, 1980s, which was a brutal time for Uruguay. Homosexuality was criminalized. And yeah, book about 5 queer women and their stories. So if you have read it, I would love to hear what you think. The next book I want to talk about is The Name Bearer by Natalia Hernandez. And Natalia is a indigenous Latinx queer author. She writes fantasy novels. That's what she's known for. This book, The Name Bearer, is her debut novel, and it is the first book in a series called The Flowers of Prophecy. And you guys know we love a series, so definitely check this one out. It has a vivid representation of culture in Latin America. I can't wait to check this book out. I feel like I'm going to be doing a lot of escaping into novels right now, and this one and Cantoras and all of the ones that I'm going to recommend are going to be extremely high on my list. So, also, a lot of these have audiobooks, which you know I'm an audiobook girl, and I just love to have books on in the background when I'm working or, cleaning or anything like that. And yeah, check out those audiobooks as well. Give the audiobook readers their flowers because they really do make these books come to life. Next up is Olga Dies Dreaming, and it's the debut novel of Xochitl Gonzalez. It was published in 2022. This book explores what it means to be Puerto Rican but not living on the island. It follows Olga and her Puerto Rican family, specifically her brother, in Brooklyn, and it explores their complicated relationship with their absent mother, Blanca, who left them to join a revolutionary cause. It expands on themes of family, identity, political corruption, gentrification, the American dream, all on the backdrop of New York City and Hurricane Maria's impact on Puerto Rico. So, again, I don't need to say this. Definitely recommend this book. Follow your Latina authors, give them their flowers. Please read these books, and hopefully, we'll be covering them on the podcast as well. Next book recommendation is Monstrilla by Gerardo Samano Cordova. I am really trying to get these accents right, guys, because I think everyone's names should be LOL, should be pronounced correctly. And this book is a horror novel about a boy who transforms into a monster who tries to be a man, and the people who love him in every form he takes. I have read some of the reviews of this book. A lot of people say it's wholly unique and uncompromising, and I haven't read a queer horror book yet, so this would be the first one on that list for me, so maybe for some of you as well. Next book is Fiebre Tropical, which is by Julián Delgado Lopera, and it is a sapphic story, a YA novel coming of age book, that general category, about Colombian immigrants who move to Miami and falls in love with the pastor's daughter. You guys know I love a little bit of religious drama, and I cannot wait to hopefully audiobook this one. Again, I'm gonna audiobook all of them, just so you guys know. So hopefully I can do better on my pronunciations once I keep hearing it more and more. Yeah, I've heard really good things about this one as well. If you've read it, please let me know what you think. Hopefully I'll be posting some Instagram stories with these book titles. Maybe I'll put little boxes on there where you guys can give your comments if you've read them, but let me know. And now for my bisexual girlies on the podcast, we have Blanca y Roja, and it is by Anne-Marie McLemore, and just a YA novel. It has bisexual representation in it. The TikTok that I saw about this book was saying that she's read her other books, and they're wonderful. Now, Blanca y Roja are sisters in a family where a curse has been passed down for generations, and we get to see that flesh out, but it has great representation of it on the LGBTQ spectrum. That is going to be it for my queer section, I guess we could call it. I want to go into some historical books that I would recommend and some native books that I would recommend as well. So let's get to it. So, my very first book that I would love to recommend that I have read myself is A People's History of the United States by Howard Zinn. And I think a lot of people have heard this book. I know it goes through waves of popularity, especially when things are getting hard in the United States. And there's a wave of new learners who want to really explore where we came from via history books that are not the ones that are taught in school. We are often told that history is told by the victors, by the winners, and this book is told by the people. It's a long book, but it's a very easy read. It's not dense despite its length. It really shows you how to look at history from the workers' perspective, from the people who are actually being affected by policy. It's history told from everyday people and how it should be viewed through the working class lens. It's not about kings, it's not about queens, it's not about presidents, it's about the real people and what they experienced and what actually happened throughout history. So, get to reading it. It's incredibly good. I'm going to give a couple more recommendations in this category. One of them is Kill Anything That Moves: The Real American War in Vietnam by Nick Turse. And this is a detailed description of U.S. operations and the horrors resulting from them during the invasion of Vietnam. And I don't know what your guys' For You page looks like on TikTok, but right now mine is very sad, very socialist, very comrades here. And I want to play a little clip that pertains to this book, and I'll give you a little bit of background info on it after it plays. So hold tight.
GI, your government has abandoned you. They have ordered you to die. GI, do not trust them. Defect, GI. It is a very good idea to leave a sinking ship. They lie to you, GI. You know you cannot win this war. Your rich leaders grow richer while you're dying in the swamp, GI. They will give you a medal, GI, but only after you are dead. Your government lies to you every day, poor soldier. You have lost this war, GI. Your army will leave you behind. Imperialists made you fight this war, GI. They do not care about you. GI, your government has betrayed you. You will not return for you. GI, your airplanes bomb your own men. You are not safe here. The skies are dangerous, GI. They will napalm you tonight. Your pilots do not care that you are down here, GI.
That was the voice of a woman, a Vietnamese woman who was known by the name of Hanoi Hannah, and she broadcasted during the war to American soldiers in North Vietnam. And if you know anything about the Vietnamese War, and even if you don't, take a look at this book that I recommended and educate yourself on the history of American militarism and colonialism and imperialism, and just get to know your history, get to know the wars that we fought in, get to know who really were the oppressors in these times, and just see history play out and repeat itself in current times. The reason I played that clip was because I think about the National Guard that was called in to LA illegally by Donald Trump. Like, he did not go through Newsom. The only person who can call in the National Guard is the government, or is the state government, or the governor of a state. So I think about, these military men and women. I don't think they want to be here. I don't think they have bad hearts. And I don't think that they want to be there any more than some of the police that are at the protests. I don't think, you know, these people want to be involved. But going back to the Vietnam War of it all, Hanoi Hannah really did cause a lot of soldiers to defect and to leave under moral grounds. So, anyway, check out this book. I hope you enjoy it. Another great book recommendation is Chain of Command: The Road from 9/11 to Abu Ghraib by Seymour M Harsh. It's an unflinching look behind the public story of the Bush administration's war on terror, its intelligence failures, and the lies and obsessions that led America into Iraq. So there's a lot that has to go into a lot of these books and a lot of research. It's very well researched. And again, I just harken back to the people's history of the United States. And these books are from the perspective of the oppressed, of the invaded. And I think that's a perspective that needs to be read. Another great book about the military outsourced empire: How Militias, Mercenaries, and Contractors Support U.S. Statecraft by Andrew Thompson. It's an analysis of the role the private contractors are increasingly playing in advancing U.S. national interests abroad. One of the facts that I learned that I found quite scary was that the United States is the only country in the world that has military bases on foreign countries' soil. And no one else is allowed to do that except for us, and how much of a fear tactic it is. So anyway, a lot of those do have private contractors and mercenaries and militias involved. And if you want to read about that, check out that book. Another great book would be Ghost Wars, The Secret History of the CIA, Afghanistan, and Bin Laden from the Soviet invasion to September 10th, 2001 by Steve Coll. This is a detailed overview of clandestine U.S. operations in Afghanistan. So the last book was about Iraq. This one's going to be about Afghanistan. Lastly, Yemen in Crisis, The Road to War by Helen Lackner. This is an analysis of conditions in Yemen that highlights the actions of the United States and client states in the region that have reaped devastation on the Yemeni people. And this book I threw in here because, yes, we talk about the Middle East and we talk about, the United States, but there are other countries that the United States has wreaked havoc upon, and it's all connected. So take a look at this book. I do want to say that all of this comes from James Ray on TikTok. He goes by the username James Gets Political. And yeah, check out these books. I'm going to go into a different topic, which would be some Native and Indigenous books that I think are really important to also be reading. And I know this is a lot of books. I'll put them all in the show notes as well. A lot of this information is going to be coming from Recycled Stardust on TikTok. She is a Mohawk native, and she gave a lot of really cool book recommendations that I'm interested in reading, and I hope you guys will be too. So the first one is Native Historians Write Back. It covers Lewis and Clark expeditions, Wounded Knee, the Seminole Freedom Claim, but from the Native Americans' viewpoint. Again, the victors, and in what I'm talking about right now, that would be the United States, quote unquote. They normally get to tell the story, and I think that's not fair. So take a look at these books from other people's perspectives, please. Another one is An American Genocide. It follows how the Native American populations dwindled during the gold rush. And, normally we were talking about, in school, the gold rush as this prosperous time, but it was really just a prosperous time for white people as devastation was being wreaked upon the Native population. So check that one out. There's a book called, and I'm so sorry, let me give you the authors for those books. 1 second. Native Historians Write Back has 2 editors, Susan A. Miller and James Writing. An American Genocide is written by Benjamin Madley. So sorry, I meant to give those authors with the books, but I got ahead of myself, as I so often do. Lastly, on the Native books category that I'm doing here is literally called Native American History, a captivating guide to the long history of Native Americans, including stories of the Wounded Knee Massacre, Native American tribes, and more, written by Captivating History. And yeah, this is a comprehensive one, guys. This is like a denser book, but really will give you a well-rounded look at Native American history. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I know it's just kind of a bullet pointed list of books to read, but these are what are on my TBR. I do have a fiction section as well, but I can't even look at it at the moment because it's so long. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and if you're out there protesting, stay safe, and we hope to see you guys next week. Love you guys. Bye.